What's up, guys? It's your boys Wookie back out with some more of the Chris Watts case. Obviously, we're going to take a look at a whole bunch of different sides when it comes to Nicole Kessinger, the DA, evidence at the home, Survey 319. This one, we're going to be taking a look at a little bit more of a different aspect of the case. This is more of the EVPs, the signs, sightings, premonitions that Sandy Rusek had before, or pretty much when her daughter was murdered. Shanann came to her. Chris Watts believes that he has seen his murdered daughter that he unalived, and was visiting him and danced for him in his prison cell, and he believes he had a phone conversation with Shanann. He won't submit to a psychiatric test and doesn't believe he's mentally ill. But we're going to take a look at all the stuff that before and now of the paranormal side of this case. So with that being said, grab a chair, get ready for some more of the Chris Watts aspect of this case in a different light. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel by hitting that wiper icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it so when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that Wookie myself has posted that video, and then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you so very much for the love and support you guys have shown on this channel. I'm so blessed to have all of you guys. I can't wait to see what the future holds. And with the future, when we get to 50,000 subscribers, one of you lucky people are going to get a MetaQuest 3 virtual reality headset for free. But we got to get to 50K first. So make sure you guys subscribe, comment, like, and share. We are also going to be taking a look at another YouTube channel that I've watched before called Unjustified. They made this video quite a few years back, but it's definitely something that we probably should need to watch because it has the premonitions, the EVPs, the signs, the sightings. People say that it's fake. I'm just letting you know that these have not been altered. These are body cam footages. These are evidence from cameras that have no editing added to them. They've been unaltered, so I wanted to get this out there for those that have not witnessed these clippings. But we're going to be taking a look at pretty much the stuff that Chris Watts has been stating not too long ago. This was about a few months ago. Chris Watts has claimed he's been visited by his deceased daughter in his prison cell, Bella, by his murdered, and also had a phone conversation with his murdered wife. He told Daily Mail TV in exclusive Real Talk. Watts talked at length about the visits, about Sherilyn Cadle, in the letters and the interviews of exposing upcoming book that she's been writing, blah, 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 blah. He wrote in that, I had a dream about Cece and Bella coming back and forth here and there to dance next to the chair in my cell. When she was dancing, all of the folders on the chair started to move. Then I woke up and I hope comes back. I hope everyone comes to visit me. Why would they want to come visit you when you murdered them? They're going to haunt you to make you in pain. Watts also claimed to Cato that he felt darkness all around him for weeks after the murders, and still to this day, he feels some type of dark is around him. And he also stated that he had felt the dark while he was doing said deed. It's just probably a cop-out. The 34-year-old at that time, before the killings, he never thought of demonic entities or felt any demonic possession until that day. Okay. Cato also went to say that Watts is accurately aware of his fame and notoriety and is keen to present himself as a good guy. He's not a good guy. In hopes of being released from prison one day. You ain't getting out, my dude. 5 consecutive life sentences. You ain't getting out. Just saying. Last November, Watts was sentenced, this was back then, was without the possibility of parole after pleading guilty to avoid the death penalty. This man's not getting out. He has literally stated that he has been seeing his deceased wife in the shadows watching him. He also had a conversation with his deceased wife on the phone, but cannot relate certain details. Okay. He also claimed that before the murders took place, he had a darkness over him from the weeks before the strangulation of his family to the death and after said deaths, which he stated could be the mistress of that 2 to 4 months with Nicole Kessinger. I'm calling BS. Despite being sentenced to 5 life sentences without possibility of parole, Watts told Cadle he doesn't believe he is the murderer and strives to maintain a good guy image and hopes that he might someday once be released on good behavior. Not happening. Chris has claimed that he's been visited by his daughters regularly in his cell and has multiple different phone calls with his deceased wife. We've said that how many different times. We woke up in the chair. Then I woke up hoping that she was back, but she wasn't. He's probably just dreaming these, to be honest. He's seen Shanann here and there in the corner of his eye. Watts has told Cato that he will not submit to psychiatric testing because he doesn't feel that he's going crazy or he's mentally ill. He just believes that he's being visited by his deceased family. I think he's going crazy, man. Watts had confessed his deepest feelings to Cato, a 65-year-old grandmother from Illinois who wrote him a letter earlier this year. He would take part in the book to be put to rest of any lingering questions that he may have had. To great surprise, he agreed. The book, Letters from Christopher, in pre-order that will be published in October 7th, which we already have. We talked about that already. He also talked about how he felt that God gave him 3 chances to pull away from Nikki, but he did not listen to any of those voices. Well, you done messed up, man. Christopher told them that he had never thought of any demonic things ever in his life until that day he felt that he was being possessed by a demon. He also goes to great lengths in his letters about the visits he gets from his daughters in his jail cell regularly. Okay. He describes how he had smothered his daughters with pillows in their beds only to have them wake up. He then drove them with their deceased mother to the oil field where he worked. I dumped Shanann on the ground and then walked back to the truck, and with the blanket that Celeste was holding, I put it over her head and smothered her. Watts squeezed Celeste's body through an 8-inch hatch in one of the oil tankers. I could not believe how easy it was to just drop her through the hole and let her go, and I heard the splash as she hit the oil. He then relived the situation with Bella. He reiterated how he killed his oldest daughter to Cato after she had watched him murder and dispose of her sister. He spoke of his surprise that little quiet Bella had a will to live. Out of the 3, Bella's the only one that put up a fight. I will hear her soft little voice for the rest of my life saying, "Daddy, no." She knew what I was doing to her. She may not have understood this death, but she knew I was killing her. And yet you continued to do it, you vicious monster. The writer says that Watts is accurately aware of his fame and notoriety, and he tries to be a good guy. He feels famous. He's very careful. He wants people to think of him as a good guy. We don't. It is very hard for him to be called a monster or to be called a murderer. He doesn't like that. Oh, shock. Don't care. I said, but Christopher, you are a murderer, which makes you a monster for what you did. But he does not agree with that. He's not a monster, he states. He says he's not necessarily a murderer. Very delusionally, I believe, even though he says, yes, I killed my family. And he doesn't want a psychiatric test. It is very important for him to keep his image that he is a good guy, that he's always been a good guy and will continue to be a good guy. One thing that struck my husband when we visited him the last time was he said something like, you know what I did to Shanann? Just casually and nonchalant without a care in the world. Along with maintaining his good guy image, Watts appeared to believe that he does not step out of the line in prison, that one day he may be eligible to leave. No. Cato said he read that in most prisons and in most states, if an inmate has been on good behavior after 25 years, they'll be released. Maybe there's cases where that has happened. I don't think that's happened. Christopher is determined to follow the rules in prison because I think he believes that one day he will be getting out of prison because of his good behavior. He annihilated 4 people. Even if he is on good behavior, this man is not getting out. In a letter Watts sent to Cato, he wrote, "Do I feel like I should be incarcerated for the act I committed? Or did I commit? I most definitely think so. And I don't think so. Do I image myself ever doing anything like this or be a danger to society again? I most definitely don't think so. I'm not married again. If I were to ever be released, I know I would go straight to a ministry and start going to jails and prisons and help inmates. If God let me to be ordained, I would go that route as well, possibly even though a chaplain. Maybe the laws will change one day. My attorney team could see how I was different and knew that this was a one-time occurrence for me. They told me that in Europe, the law is I would serve 20 years for homicide, and in California, after 25 years of imprisonment on a life sentence, you can be released if you have good behavior. In California, you're in Wisconsin, and you committed murder in Colorado. So there's hope for everyone to live outside of prison walls. I know physically I'm behind these walls, but my spirit is free with Christ. Cato is clear that her book is not an attempt to help Watts get an appeal, nor she says does it appear that he wants one. So apparently Chris thinks he's going to be getting out because he's doing good and he sees his deceased wife and daughter, and they tell him that he will one day get out. Keep dreaming. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at Unjustified's video of premonitions, EVPs, signs, and sightings. So let's take a look. She says that Christopher is telling people that he has to go to work and that he just doesn't seem right. She felt that he is going out to pour oil on the bodies to dispose of them somewhere. We are born with 6 senses, not 5. The 6 senses that when most of us don't know apply to everyday life is our intuition, inner voice, or psychic awareness. Shanann's mother feels and hears the spirit of Shanann, Bella, and Celeste from the moment of her daughter's death. I feel that's true. I mean, my mother has stated it from my grandmother. I mean, I do believe that's a possibility. Have I had it? No. When you really love someone, you develop a 6th sense for them. You can feel everything that they do, like when they're in distress, when they're happy, when they're lying. It's the weirdest thing ever, but it's the real thing. He talks about him and his father, Frankie, seeing what the described as possible signs from Shanann in full person form, as well as a random homeless person he has never seen before, giving them a stay strong message the day of the sentencing. Interesting.
The day we got here, we dropped off our stuff. We went downstairs and got off the elevator, and boom, there's a girl standing there, identical to my sister. I've never seen anybody ever look like my sister. I have a picture. I took a picture of her. Yeah, I mean, my dad, I look over and every goosebump in his body was standing up. His hair was sticking up this high. And I mean, I wanted to like run up to her and be like, "Are you fucking with us? You know, are you Are you playing?
Yeah.
Is this fake?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And then like we went to the gas station to get some lighters, and this little homeless guy just walked around, and he was like, "Stay strong." I was like, "Wow, you know, I don't know. I believe in things like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Little sign.
I mean, she had the same outfit, same hair, stopped the hair, jet black. I mean, same type shirt, same spandex pants,
Really?
flip flops. I mean, it was her. It was.
Maybe it's a sign.
I know. It was unbelievable. Yeah, it's like my dad said, you know, she's done. She's here with us. You know.
Yeah.
But I already knew that. But you know, it was like a, you know, like I felt better. I was real sad at the moment, but I felt better. Like when we left, I was like, you know, okay.
A powerful sign from spirits, treasures from the rainbow will come to you in unexpected forms. The last child that played with Bella and Celeste. They attended this little boy's birthday party just hours before their father murdered them. This little boy made this out of the blue statement while his parents were being interviewed on August 14th, the day after the murders, and while they were still considered missing. Jeez.
This is all just really weird.
It's too real. It's too weird.
I just picture them sitting in a hole.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So he said that before. Children can see things. He pictured them in a hole. The tanks. Nicole Atkinson, Shannon's best friend and the last person to see Shannon alive, as well as the one to her alert law enforcement under her friend Nicole inside the Watts home only hours after dropping Shannon off at her home. Returning from their weekend business trip, Nicole looks as if she's being shocked when touching Shannon's phone.
Phone's here? Her phone's here.
Why'd she do that? Unless she's like, electricity manipulation. Because your deceased loved one is now pure energy, they have the ability to manipulate electricity in any form. For instance, they may flicker the light, blow out some lights. I've heard of that. Shannon's purse and miscellaneous kitchen counter decor. August 13th, when Chris let the officer corner or Coonrad Road and others inside the home, the kitchen counter is viewable on the officer's body cam, and there's nothing on the kitchen counter. What? Then after everyone leaves the home and walks next door to Nate's to view the home security footage when they all return, Shannon's purse as well as a vase with flowers and a red water cooler is now on the kitchen counter. What? From the discovery documents of the August 14th interview of Nicole Atkinson, interesting. But when detectives handbag members floated to the island, kept what? Pickles, a a vase. And her purse. It wasn't there before. Disappearing. Put your set of keys. I have heard of that. You turn around 1 minute later, it's gone. You see your family searching high and low for it, but then later somehow it comes miraculously, reappears in the very place that you always put it. Or bizarrely, you'll find it later in a ridiculous place like high or bookshelves, a shoebox in the closet, or some other spots never put in a million years. Shanann was trying to offer communication to Officer Coonrad while everyone was viewing Nate's home security. What are the chances this commercial, whatever error, yeah, ha! Yeah, don't get, we've already talked about this. When you see on this TV, it shows oil. It shows a baby. It shows the deceased, like, pregnancy. It's scary. Like, I have wholeheartedly believed that Shanann was talking to them to try to throw Chris under the bus.
My detective just showed up, so he'll probably want to talk to you. He'd probably, like I said, he might have you call at the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Look how nervous he is.
Because if there is any sort of action out there,
his camera's
I would have got it.
Like
Right.
we had issues the other week.
Diesel.
You're good.
But yeah, I thought nothing.
Watch this. Watch.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
Of all the commercials, a baby.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
Oil.
Did you go check if anything was missing around your house?
There wasn't nothing. It was like all the old blankies. That's about it. And then her lawyer was on the nightstand. Her phone was still there.
That commercial airing at the exact moment was a coincidence? I don't think so. If you have ever never seen this commercial fully, it is very telling. The fetus, the oil-covered skull in a shallow grave, the oil-filled explosion, the weakest star, the second scorpion hatching. And I posted a video about it not too long ago. Here is the entire commercial in case you have never seen it. Oh, they're going to show us. I posted this about 4 months ago. It's the baby fetus, Nico. Burning heart, explosion, being able to not breathe, turned into oil, smudged, 2 scorpions, good versus evil, the pentagram, Nicole Atkinson, or Nicole Kessinger, the darkness that apparently had a hold on Chris. I think it's science, dude. It is exactly to a T. Clues from beyond the graves when victims help solve their own murders. I think Shanann threw him under the bus. Chris had an interview with news media that he chose some odd words to use when describing how he felt in his home the night before. Needless to say, he would not stay at his own home. The night of August, he stayed with a night of friends, which we already watched, the Thatchers. Nick and Jess Thatcher.
And it's just like, it's like, it vanished. Like, she's not, like, when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. And it's just earth shattering. I don't feel like this is even real right now. It's like a nightmare that I just can't wake up from. Last night was traumatic. Last night was, I can't really stay in this house again, like, with nobody here.
He was being haunted.
Probably my friends Nick and Amanda. Just, I mean.
Nick and Amanda. He literally acts and sounds scared by being in the home alone anymore. What happened last night that scared him enough to refuse to stay there again alone, referring to his home as a ghost town, is very odd, IMM, and his eyes look straight to me almost like he doesn't even have a pupil. Unfinished business. There is really no convenient time to die. Therefore, a spirit may stay behind if they have passed with unfulfilled goals or needs to stay with a loved one. A spirit will forever stay in our realm while the business is unfinished. These spirits may try to communicate with you, and the paranormal activity may increase if it is unheard. Confusion. The spirit typically does not realize that they are dead, especially if they experience a quick or traumatic death. Once the spirit realizes they are dead, they typically move on. Saying goodbye. This is a quick and most common occurrence when the spirit attempts to say goodbye to a loved one. This activity typically happens while the receiver is asleep, but can also occur during full consciousness. Her mother. Several odd occurrences happened during the home search with the dogs, possibly including sightings, lights coming on by themselves, EVPs, and the first dog was obviously frustrated and even jumped upon furniture as if he was trying to play with being petted by somebody. As the dog handler enters the home, by watching very closely to the left and the top of the stairs, there appears to be a transparent little girl walking down the stairs. It is very fast, and the handler walks by, and the officer body cam catches just that clip. I think it's just the railing playing a trick with this railing passing this one up here. Look.
Smells like cleaning.
You can see it subtly. I've watched it like several times. Excuse me. I can't tell. I've watched it over and over. I've rewind it, forward it, I can't tell. The light comes by itself when the dog handler enters Shanann's office area. When a childlike giggles is heard by both the handler and the officer, which obviously scares the handler. The officer assumes the light is the motion activated, and the childlike giggle has never been understood, as there may be something found that would have made the giggles. They thought it was a toy. I really would like to know why her office was in shambles.
There's plenty of first sectors here.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What in the world is that? Wow. Go in there. It sort of sounds like it.
Something. There was a. I heard it.
That one, did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
It did.
Because all he did was go straight in there.
Somebody says that they saw some shoes moving. I don't know.
That was straight. Well, we'll make a note of that.
I heard it. I definitely heard the same
See,
thing you
they're
did.
taking everything. As the handler and the officer heard upstairs, if you listen very carefully after the third to fourth step, you can hear what has been assumed as possible EVP picked up by the officer's body cam. The whisper sounds to be possibly saying it wasn't Chris.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Very subtle. With the ghost hunting and paraphilosophy, electric voice phenomenon are sounds found of electrical recordings that are interpreted as spirit voices that have been either unintentionally recorded. When the handler and the officer enter the laundry room just before the officer points out where the activity or attic entry is, you can again hear a possible time it's saying, "I'm with Cece." As remember, Sandy Rusek also describes when Shanann was talking to her. She said she was also talking to her in whisper voice.
Definitely scent coming out of there.
Yeah. So there's your attic access right there.
Bro,
So there's your attic access.
bro, you can hear it. And you can't tell me there's any altercations. Literally, it said, "I'm with CC."
There.
Listen to it one more time. I'm with CC.
So there's
I
your
have
attic
chills,
access right
man.
there.
As the entire enter into Shannon's and Chris's bedroom again, it seems that the whispering EVPs follow them room to room when the time possible. This is our home.
Here's a pair of her shorts. I don't know if they've been touched or moved.
This is our home. Nate's video camera records a dark-haired woman walking into the Watts home, but she is never seen leaving. Law enforcement were called and reported was made after a search of the property. Law enforcement took custody of the video. I think it's still Nicole, but and these are unaltered body cams.
Over a month after Shanann Watts and her 2 young daughters were murdered, police responded to a report of suspicious activity at their Frederick, Colorado home, where a neighbor saw a woman approach the house via video surveillance but never saw her leave. The discovery documents released by the Weld County District Attorney's Office and shared by the Denver Post include a police report of an incident on September the 21st in which a woman believed to be Shanann Watts' mother called police to report she had received a text message from an unknown number advising her that a back door at her deceased daughter's home was open. 2 Frederick police dispatched to the home and saw that a screen covering a back door was slid open, but the door behind it was closed. The report states that the officers observed the home from multiple angles and did not see any sign of any indication that a person had entered the
Besides
house.
upstairs in the bathroom.
The report notes that upon leaving the home, an officer observed that a garage light was on, and it had not been on when the officers arrived. The officers left the home but were called back later that same evening. The report states that dispatch contacted one of the responding officers again after Shanann's father had called the police after being contacted by a neighbor who said the garage lights were still on and they had not been in the past. Frederick police returned to the home and spoke to the neighbor, Nate, who reiterated concerns about the garage lights and also shared video with police that was taken on his home surveillance system. From the report, this is what the report stated. He was able to show me video from his Xfinity home security on his phone. He showed me that a female walked up to the house at around 900 hours and was seen walking up to the front door.
Why won't
There
they
is
let us
no
see
video of the female leaving the area. And shortly after, there is a black SUV that is seen passing the house slowly. Nate was able to show me 3 different videos showing the black SUV going slow by the house shortly after the female was seen walking to the front door. I did not see anyone leave the vehicle and approach the house and did not see anyone come from the house and get into the vehicle. Shanann's father reportedly gave the officers a security code to the home and asked them to go inside and check for any signs of activity. The officers searched the home and did not see any signs that a person was there or had been there. The officer who wrote the report noted that a garage alarm went off when he pushed on the garage. He notified Shanann's father of this, and her father said that he did not believe the alarm had been set when he last visited the home. The officer said in the report that the neighbor had been advised to contact police if he saw any further activity at or near the home.
Body cam footage, clips of the house search from the calls of the dark-haired woman being seen camera entering but never leaving the Watts home on September 21st. It is very obvious the officers are very nervous and freaked out by the call and seeing the girl on camera themselves. Yet, why can't we see this footage? So they literally saw it going in, the woman going in there, but yet we can't see the footage? Why? So they have evidence. They're going.
Frederick Police Department, anybody in the house? Frederick Police Department, anybody in the house, make yourself known.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 officers.
Frederick Police Department, anybody in the house?
I got you, Mom.
They said the refrigerator
Slow and steady,
goes on.
guys.
Okay. Coming out.
You can see that somebody opened up the refrigerator.
Alright.
Connecting door. Closet, I'm coming behind it.
They said it was Shanann.
Okay, clear the garage. Cooksy, where we at? We'll come out to the garage. Frederick Police Department, anybody in the garage? Frederick Police Department, make yourself known.
Is it sealed off from the top on that side? Yeah. Never mind.
Now, garage lights are off. Cooksy coming back towards you. Copy.
Blue coming up.
Okay, I'll pull the door once you guys are ready.
You want to make that announcement?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Frederick Police Department, anybody in the basement? Frederick Police Department, make yourself known!
Gotcha.
Frederick Police Department, anybody down here?
See, there's somebody sitting in the chair. And then the door over by the refrigerator opened up. You go over there and see because and then the door opened up. He said that wasn't open before.
I'm gonna check the top, see if there's a access
There's Frederick Police Department, anybody upstairs? Frederick Police Department, anybody upstairs? Make yourself known! You guys want to come with me? I'll grab the gate.
I'll hold down here.
So you can see a spirit behind that officer up there. It looked like a little girl.
I'll light.
What's that?
All the lights.
Alright, guys.
Good.
Alright.
Did we get the garage lights off? Did we get the garage lights off?
It's like so nerve-wracking.
The lights gonna get dark.
coincidence or
Miss
not?
Rusick got a text from an unknown number saying that it looked like the back door of her daughter's home was open. Well, her being in North Carolina and not knowing who the text came from, she called the police department to go check it out. And when they got there, they didn't see, the back screen door looked like it was open, but the main door was
Someone went out
closed.
that back
And
door.
they went around the whole perimeter of the home and they seen nothing. Nothing looked out of place. Nothing looked odd. So they started to leave, and when they started to leave, they noticed the garage light on, and it had not been on when they got there. They left, and then they were called to come back because Frank Rusick called them, Shanann's father, and said Nate had let him know that he has on video a dark-haired woman walking into the house but not leaving.
I want to see that footage.
So he calls them to go back out there, and as you can tell from the few clips of the video of the home search that night, I showed you that the police were taking this call very seriously.
Because they saw it.
They were very serious. They sent multiple officers to go through the house because they saw the woman on Nate's video as well.
They knew that there was
They
somebody
saw
there.
her on the video going in the house. So they knew it wasn't a prank call or anything like that. They saw it. So they went in the house fully expecting to find someone in.
This is where he states that he's been visited by his daughter on multiple occasions. A phone call with his... Man. One day, guys. One day. One day. So what is your guys' thoughts on this? On paranormal aspect. I know there's some people that believe, there's some people that don't believe, but you can audibly hear those words being spoken that this is our home. I'm with Cece. Like, it sounds like Shanann. And it just sounds something that you wouldn't say. This is our home. Or I'm with Cece. It's just things that you don't normally would hear, you're hearing. So please comment down below. Also, this man's not getting out. 5 consecutive life terms after being good for 25 years. No. You annihilated your family. You're not going anywhere. I'm telling you. Even on good behavior. Who cares if you did this once? It doesn't mean anything. If once a killer, always a killer. Just saying. So again, I thank you guys for very, very much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my reaction, enjoying looking at a little bit more of the paranormal side of this case. There's not much more you can do when it comes to the paranormal side of this. So I think we're just going to leave the paranormal aspect out of it. We pretty much have done all we can for the videos and so forth. And there's still people going to the house to this day. Somebody mentioned that the other day that the Millers bought the house. They refurnished it, refixed it up, made it look good, but don't live in it. So I don't know how accurately true that is. I'm pretty sure that they live in it because you can see them having flags up for like football season. There's Christmas decorations and so forth. So I'm pretty sure something's living in it. But again, rumors can be rumors. So again, I thank you guys for watching. Please take care, be safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video.